What is epithelioid mesothelioma, and why should you care? On average, epithelioid mesothelioma patients live longer than any other cell type. They generally respond better to treatment, and they have more treatment options available. But there are some things, even within this cell type, that may affect your life expectancy, and that is what I will cover in today's video. Hi, I'm Deborah from Surviving Mesothelioma. For almost 20 years, we have had the privilege of helping mesothelioma patients understand their options. Okay, so what is epithelioid mesothelioma? Epithelioid refers to the cell type of your mesothelioma. Mesothelioma is a cancer caused by asbestos exposure. There are 4 types of mesothelioma based on where it developed in your body. Pleural in the lungs, peritoneal in the abdomen, pericardial in the heart, and then testicular in the testicles. Then each type of mesothelioma can be broken down into its cell type. So there are 3 main cell types of mesothelioma based on how the cancer cells look under a microscope: epithelioid, sarcomatoid, and biphasic. Now, epithelioid, also called epithelial, is what we will be covering in today's video. And it's the cell type that you want to see on your pathology report. And here's why. Epithelioid cells grow in organized patterns. They stick together. This makes them easier for surgeons to remove and easier for treatments to target. So think of them like a clump of grapes. They stay together instead of spreading out individually. But not all cases are the same. Even within epithelioid mesothelioma, there are certain things that can affect your life expectancy. And here are 3 things that may affect your life expectancy with epithelioid mesothelioma. 1 is the nuclear grade, 2 is growth patterns, and then 3 is protein markers. Okay, so let's break each of these down in just plain English. First, the nuclear grade, and no, I'm not talking about bombs. The quote, nuclear grade refers to a rating system of how abnormal the epithelioid cancer cells look. So there is grade 1, grade 2, and grade 3. And think of it like a rating system for how abnormal the cancer cells look. While many hospitals don't automatically include this in their reports, patients can ask their pathologist for it. A study in Modern Pathology looked at 232 mesothelioma patients, and what they found is that the way cancer cells look under a microscope can predict survival time. So for grade 1, the cells look less abnormal. The median survival in this group is 28 months. For grade 2, the cells start to show more abnormal features. The median survival in this group is half as long as grade 1 with only 14 months. And then lastly, grade 3. So here the cells look highly abnormal, and the median survival of patients in this group is only 5 months. Remember, the median is just the middle number in a series of patients. Some live longer, some live less. What I find strange is that the nuclear grade isn't routinely included in most pathology reports, but patients have the right to ask for this analysis. Okay, but what else can affect epithelioid mesothelioma life expectancy? So the next thing is the growth pattern of a cell. Are the epithelioid cells growing in a way where each cell is very different from each other in size, shape, or color? And if they are, this is what scientists call a pleomorphic pattern. So a study in the Journal of Thoracic Oncology discovered something important about pleomorphic pattern. When pathologists see this pattern, survival times change dramatically. Regular epithelioid mesothelioma cases may live up to 28 months on average, but pleomorphic cases average just 3 to 8 months. Multiple studies show that pleomorphic epithelioid mesothelioma cases can behave more like other aggressive forms of mesothelioma, like sarcomatoid or biphasic cells. So if pleomorphic cells are found, it could signal a poorer prognosis. That is why it is so important for patients to ask specific questions about their pathology results. The key questions for medical teams are: 1, what type of mesothelioma cells are present? And remember, these are epithelioid, sarcomatoid, and biphasic. 2, has a nuclear grade been determined, and is it grade 1, 2, or 3? And then question number 3, are there any pleomorphic features? Now, these aren't typically routine questions, but research shows they may impact epithelioid mesothelioma survival rates. So we covered the patterns of epithelioid cells and how they may impact survival rates. What about the protein markers that I mentioned? And what are protein markers? Anyway, so think of protein markers like ID badges that cells wear. Just like a police officer's badge tells you they're law enforcement, protein markers tell doctors what type of cell they're looking at and how it might behave. So these markers aren't just labels, they are signals. They tell us 2 critical things. 1, how aggressive your cancer might be, and then 2, which treatments might work best for you. 2 common protein markers in mesothelioma are BAP1 and PDL1. BAP1 is like a speed limit sign. A 2018 study in the journal Pathology looked at 117 cases, and they found something really interesting. When patients lose this protein marker, they typically live longer. So think about that. The absence of this marker is actually better news. It's like the cancer lost its driver's license. PDL1 though is different. It is like a shield the cancer uses to hide from your immune system. So higher levels usually mean a more aggressive disease. But here's why knowing your PDL1 status matters. It can tell doctors if immunotherapy treatments might work for you. This isn't just interesting science. It may directly impact your treatment options. When doctors know which markers your cancer cells have, they can better predict how fast the cancer might grow, which treatments are most likely to work, what your life expectancy might be. But here's the problem. Sometimes these markers aren't always checked unless specifically requested. So that is why understanding them matters, so that you can have an informed conversation with your medical team about getting the right tests. But remember, no single pattern or marker tells the whole story. Multiple studies show it's the combination of these factors that matter most. Recent studies from multiple research centers have confirmed something really important. The more information that patients and doctors have about these specific cell patterns, the better they can plan appropriate treatment strategies. So, what can you do with this information? Well, first, request a complete pathology report. Second, schedule time with your medical team specifically to review the pathology findings. If I had epithelioid mesothelioma, I would ask questions like, what specific type of mesothelioma cells are present? Have they looked at the nuclear grading? Were there any unusual patterns like pleomorphic features found? Have BAP1 and PDL1 markers been found? Third, consider getting a second opinion from an academic hospital with pathologists who specialize in mesothelioma. Research shows that even small details in how cells look can make a big difference in understanding and potentially treating the disease. And remember, this isn't about questioning the medical team. It's about getting all of the information necessary to make the right treatment decisions. All right. That's all I've got for you today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and check out the next one. I'm going to leave a link in the description for you. Stay strong, and I'll see you in the next video.